All right, so coming up next here on the Matthew Filipowicz Show, we are joined by Charles Frowning. Charles is a spokesman of the Iowa-based conservative group, The Family Leader, who of course recently made headlines for their pledge called the Marriage Vow, which has actually been signed by GOP presidential candidates Rick Santorum and Michelle Bachmann. Charles, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on the show, Matthew. It is so rare that I get to chat with a Satan-worshipping burnout like yourself. And though your audience is full of homosexualized, drug-crazed, time-wasting children touchers, I shall take the opportunity to defend the sanctity of family and marriage nonetheless.
All right, well, that's very noble of you.
It's quite noble of me. And I don't think protecting my values is wrong. I'm simply asking the public to band together to ban gay marriage and all forms of pornography. And not just the obvious ones like guy on guy or guy on girl. I'm also talking about supple teen sex, older woman in a teddy sex, anal, oral, sex outside, sex indoors, animated cartoon sex, bondage, bestiality, urine fecal fetish sex, and of course pregnant foot and fantasy role play.
All right. Well, for a guy who's supposedly all about family values and monogamy, you seem to know a lot about porn genres and subgenres.
Being aware of the specifics of filth I am fighting in the world is essential to preserving the tolerance of pure Christian love.
Fair enough. Well, speaking of tolerance, do you have a response to those who found your pledge to be somewhat racist towards African Americans?
Well, if you're implying that African Americans were better off as private property, and that's somehow racist in nature, Matthew, I would ask you to seriously reconsider your definition of the word definition. We at the Family Leader stand by our statements, which is why we've had it removed completely, due to the unexpected number of uppity, literate voting citizens.
Okay, well, do you really think that data that's over a century old is applicable to today's society, especially when related to race and marriage demographics?
See, Matt? Now you're being the racist. Racist against time. Just 'cause something get old, that don't mean it ain't useful no more. Hell, my grandmammy's 88 years old, and she still does all my cooking and cleaning. Citing marriage percentages amongst blacks in a freshly post-slavery America to make a point about modern Christian family values is more clever than a Larry the Cable Guy DVD.
Okay, well, what about the critics who feel that you are making up percentages and facts out of thin air to condemn gays and single parents?
Making what up? Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of bullies. I mean, even liberal loving Hollywood has used sitcoms to glorify the disgusting and traumatizing childhoods endured by American youth at the hands of gay and single parents.
Wait a second, like what sitcom in the history of television has ever had a gay single parent as the main character?
Oh, why, a sitcom that went by the name of Full House, in which 3 white darling little girls were being raised by 3 single unrelated males living in San Francisco of all places. The first episode presented the very mysterious death of the girl's mother that resulted in a living situation that was clearly in slight of our Lord.
Hold on a second. Full House? Look, that was like one of the most grotesquely wholesome shows ever written. I mean, none of the characters ever mentioned anything about being attracted to someone of the same sex on that show.
Well, no, they didn't come out and say it. But come on, Matthew, I ain't no dummy. If there's puddles on the ground and clouds in the sky, then friend, it's raining. 3 men raising them little girls, and look what happened. One of them became a drug addict, one of them killed Heath Ledger, and worst of all, the last one got married to a Canadian athlete.
All right. Well, look. Do you have any motive in the creation of the marriage vow outside of recreating a McCarthy era environment which uses allegiances to condemn your political enemies?
Look, we at the Family Leader are not saying that if you don't sign and believe this inclusive document that you're any less American than, let's say, white heterosexual married people. We are, however, writing that down into and passing around a pledge of loyalty to a bigoted institution of money and conservative agenda. I mean, what's the problem here?
Well, I mean, like, do you realize that it has nothing to do whatsoever with family values or marriage? You realize that, right?
Guess what, Matthew? The Matthew Filipowicz Show just made the list of things that are banned from society from now on. No more Matthew Filipowicz Show, no more gay marriage, no more pornography, no more comically satirical critiques of the conservative right, no more forks and knives. From now on, everyone will use some sort of knife fork hybrid that we can, come up with and sell. No more drugs of any kind, marijuana, heroin, cocaine, or soy milk. No more birth control, abortions, or anything that be considered a feminine product like tampons or yogurt or the oxygen channel. Now, if you agree to all of that, then you will have the full support of a very small and limited organization. Now, if that don't sound enticing as a glass of lemonade on a hot Sunday afternoon, I don't know what do.
Charles Frowning, I'm sure some Republicans will take you up from that offer. Charles Frowning, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back.
Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit, were you recording this?